Hello, and what a great day to sew something wonderful. I'm Kia with Kia B, and I am so excited to be back with you again today for another Flosstube. I'm not gonna say it. I almost said something that I said I wasn't gonna say anymore. I am actually just so excited to be back with you today. I am fresh off of a 9-day vacation, which we will talk so much about in this video. And my mommy heart is rested, and it was just, I can't tell you how much of a blessing it was to be able to get away for 9 days. And if y'all could see my desk situation, I feel like every floss tuber says that, but it's a lot today. So I am just excited to be sitting down and filming. Yeah, I haven't been here in a while, and that's what I almost said is, I haven't been here in a while, but I said I was going to stop saying that. And so many of you were so gracious. If you don't know, I am just coming back from Stitchcon, and I was not at Stitchcon for 9 days, and I did not attend both weekends. I want to make that extremely clear. But a lot of you came up to me at Weekend B and said, like how much you just appreciated whenever I can film. And that, you guys don't understand how much that helped me and everything. So I just very much appreciate it. I know last time in the comment section was full of film when you can. And I appreciate your grace in that. So with that being said, let's dive right into all of these things that I have to show you. I say that in a quick life update, there's not a lot going on. We're on summer break. You know, I'm the mean homeschool mom that's still making her kids do a little bit of summer school work, just math and Latin, but a couple hours a day and we're done. We've been enjoying the time at the pool. Here in Indiana, it has not stayed warm enough overnight to heat the pool water. And so we went the day before yesterday. I didn't even get in at all with the kids because it was ice cubes. So while it's, 85 degrees outside, which is a lovely pool day weather with a nice breeze, the water was frigid. But kids, they don't care. They just want to jump in and swim, which I love that about them. So enjoying the pool time. Tech guy in the Hive transferred jobs. He still works for the same company, but he works at a different location now. And so we're very excited about that. Not a whole lot else going on personally. Just really enjoying what we have of summer break. Getting a lot of stitching done, which you'll kind of see that. And just kind of gearing up for another school year that begins beginning of August. You think we homeschool, we could make our own schedule, but we do have to have some guidelines. So, or else I'm not sure I would have the motivation to ever get it done. Okay, let's just, let's just stop gabbing. Let's just get into it because I can't imagine how long this is going to be anyway. First thing I want to say is my vacation was 9 days. I, again, want to stress that I did not attend both weekends of Stitchcon. I got to go spend 2 nights with my dear friend, Liz Matthews. And I tell you what, that time that we had together is so sweet and wonderful. And, I love when I can see her because we are about, I think it's 9.5 hours apart. And so we rarely get to see each other. So just having that time was wonderful. So I got to go and spend a couple of nights with her. I got to have dinner with the CTS team, which is the Common Threaded Stitcher team. And that was so nice and refreshing just to see most of us in one room together. That was lovely. Missed those who couldn't be there. And then Sunday, dear friends of mine picked me up at the hotel and whisked me away for a, 4-day, we called it Petite retreat, and you'll see a theme throughout this. And so 6 of us got together and we spent 4 days together, all 6 of us, and just did some wonderful things. So I thought I'd kind of chat about that. These ladies are super generous and lovely and just have been a great support, as so many of you have. through our struggles with Pearson and lifting us up and everything like that. So I knew that I wanted to do something really special for them for our Petite retreat. So if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this, but I kind of wanted to show you the befores of what my gift was to them. And if you have not seen it, over on Instagram, I posted, today is Friday, so yesterday, Thursday, I posted a picture of some train cases. And so this is what they started as. This is a newer one. Hit myself in the face with it. This is just a Samsonite. And then when you open it, this one actually still has its key and original tags and the tray. So this is mine. And oh, yep, we still have the mirror. You guys can see my desk is insane. And so we've got the tray in here, and then when you lift out the tray, it looks like that. So all of its original parts and pieces. Okay, so this is what a train case looks like ahead of time. And then you can head over to my Instagram to see what I did with these to make each of them their own stitching case if they wanted to use it for stitching or if they just wanted to use it for decor. I tell you what, I've had so much fun not only shopping for the cases, but shopping for the accessories that go in the cases, like the fabric that lines the walls. I trimmed a lot of them in lace. We have one darling lady who is a homesteader, and so finding just some fun things for her. One loves bees. And anyway, so it was just personalizing each of those was my favorite part of that. I love to give gifts. Like, I love to give gifts. And I just couldn't hold the excitement. And we stayed at our friend Holly's house. She's such a wonderful hostess. And when we got there, Holly's daughter was there, Alyssa, and she was so kind to help me carry all 5 of the train cases up the stairs. Everybody closed their eyes. I set their train case in front of them because I knew if they saw me carrying them up the stairs, they were going to know what they were. And so they all closed their eyes. We carried them up the stairs. I laid theirs in front of each other. The air conditioning is going to kick on in my office, thank goodness, because it's warm in here, but also it's going to be a little bit loud. So I apologize about that. And then sweet Alyssa took a video. I was sitting on the couch and I was literally like, my excitement, I'm like, I can barely sit down. I cannot wait for these people to open them. And so I'm so glad that I have that sweet video that I can watch the reaction over and over again. And it was just so incredibly kind. Let me pause the video real quick because I think that's actually probably going to be a little bit too loud. I think we're okay now. I turned on a little fan. We'll be good to go. So anyway, I'm just super glad to have that little sentiment. When they picked me up on Sunday, we went to an adorable little like market in just outside of Springboro called Charm at the Farm. If you are in the Cincinnati area or you live in the Cincinnati area, you're going to be visiting in the Cincinnati area anytime in August or October or again next June, make time to go to Charm at the Farm. If you are traveling for Stitchcon, I assume it is pretty much around Stitchcon weekends. You could always go with a group of friends on Sunday. It was so adorable. It's on this little farm and it's like a maker's market. And so I got my adorable shirt there. This was made by a 21-year-old who started her own business as a freshman in college. She needed a part-time job and she started painting doormats and decided, I don't want to do doormats forever. And so then she started screen printing shirts and aprons, I think. She had a lot of things. And this shirt, I loved this so much. So it was an adorable company, and the company name is actually Fully Loved and Free. And so it was just so much fun to be there. We got... is it called Everlasting Jewelry? Anyway, it's a permanent bracelet. And so I love this so much. It is permanent, so it never comes off. It doesn't have a clasp or anything. You have to cut it off, and got a little heart on ours, which I just thought is so adorable. I have wanted, some people I think call them infinity jewelry. And I've wanted one for a while and I don't know anyone in my area who does it. So I was very excited to go. She is a fellow medical mom. And so it was lovely to be able to talk with her and just, I don't know, just see her for a few minutes. I also got a little ring that says "Be Still." And so super, super sweet. I will put the name of the company because she does Instagram and she has Instagram live sales quite often. And so I will put her Instagram in the description box below so you can order from her online. She does earrings, she has beautiful necklaces. She does have normal clasp bracelets. She does anklets. She does tons of jewelry and bags. It's really, really cute things. So that definitely will not be my last purchase with her. So spent the time at Charm of the Farm. It was not busy at all because it was rainy and gross that day. And I've not been walking super well. As some of you know, I broke my heel, back in May. And so I wasn't quite sure I would last that long because it was in a field, but I was so glad that we went. It was so lovely. And it was just fun to see other makers and other things that people do. Which kind of leads me into a little finish. Do you guys want to see? We'll go backwards today. So when we were there, we went into this tent that was an antique tent. And you could tell they had brought in their collection of antiques and things that they were doing. And I left the pillow downstairs. But do you know how people will take old quilts and make into pillows or a notebook cover or just anything? She had some really, really cute things there. And I saw this tiered tray that is no more than 6 inches tall. And I said to Holly and Tammy, who I was with, wouldn't this be adorable? You know, the tiered tray in the cross stitch community is like the finishing thing. Everybody's got a tiered tray that has stitches on it. Would it not be so cute if I had a tiered tray of Cheez-it pillows? But, excuse me, if you do not know what Cheez-it pillows are, I don't have one sitting here. I love to do high count fabric, so like a 56 count fabric, and then do tiny little pillows that are the size of Cheez-Its. And so I found this tiered tray. I had gotten the sweetest gift from Kathy Barrick through Liz Matthews and decided I'm going to pull out parts of that Kathy Barrick charts, the couple of charts that she gave me as part of my gift, and I'm going to make some Cheez-It pillows. So this is my little finish. So this is the tiered tray that I got. And after I finished it, I realized this really does have mementos of my entire vacation. So Liz and her sweet husband went to, did they go to Paris? Okay. So anyway, they went on vacation abroad and she found me this felted bee and she gifted that to me. That was part of my gift from her. And then one day, and this is a Cheez-It pillow, and so is this. So it is just essentially a tiny little cross stitch finish that you put, this little bird is one as well. And so this little pin that's sticking in there is from Kathy, 2 Needles Pulling Thread. She had gifted me that just for my tiered tray. This is a tiny little tomato pin cushion. Shelly Fry from Antique Needleworkers came over to stitch at Holly's for just an afternoon, which was really kind. And she brought us all a little like sussy gift. And so this was in her gift, which I thought was really sweet. This card, and it sticks in this flower frog. I've never seen a flower frog this small. So that was fantastic. It actually says Glory on one side. So I had bought it with full intentions to put this in my china cabinet in my dining room with some patriotic things. And then when I got my tiered tray done, I saw that it says the word little, and you guys, I about came apart. Like, couldn't believe it said little. It was meant for this tiered tray. I've got a little spool here with some rickrack from Kathy and Holly, needle with some thread, because needles and thread, we might know some people who that's their channel name, 2 Needles Pulling Thread. Okay, I got a little bit scared because I saw a tiny little arm and it scared me. I didn't hear anybody come up the stairs. Okay, so where was I? So these tiny little scissors, they actually come off. I can use them because they are put on here with this magnet that was also in Liz's gift to me. And it is from Merchant & Mills pin magnet. And so it just holds those scissors so well. And so it really was just a memento of my weekend. So I bought this tiered tray on Sunday. I stitched all these little pillows on Monday. Actually ran to Keepsakes and got the 52 count. It was 53, 63 count from, I know y'all are screaming at me. Who's it from? And I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, it's 53, 63 count. And so I ran to Keepsakes Monday morning, grabbed that, came back, stitched all 3 of these pillows, then finished it all Tuesday night and got it all done. And I just could not be more happy with this tiny little thing. I love it so much. I put it on the brag table immediately so I could just show all the world how adorable it is. I will tell you that Missy was at Hobby Lobby this week, I believe, or Michael's, I don't remember which, and these were on clearance for $3. So if you have one of those stores, check and see if they have them as well. So that was a tiny little finish that I had. I love it so much. I want it downstairs at my house so I can just walk by it all the time. Okay, we will get this filmed eventually. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of starts and stops in this video, and we're just gonna be okay with that. Okay, so let's talk about Petite Retreat. So we went to Charm at the Farm, spent a few days at Holly's house, who is Hobbies of Holly on Instagram. She has the most beautiful home, and we just had such a lovely time. Several of those girls had planned what we are calling the Petite Retreat for several months and invited me to come along, and I could not be more grateful. There are some people that, you know, you can text and be one person. Like, you can be whoever you want in Word. You can say whatever you want, you know, be who you want to be. It's the authenticity of that person saying those things in real life. And these women were just so authentic. And I appreciated that so much. And I appreciate that they included me in their group. And so it was Holly, and then Tammy of Tam Stitches, Teresa of Garden Goose Stitcher, Missy and Kathy from Two Needles Pulling Thread, and then myself, which makes up the 6 of us. And so all weekend, or all week rather, everybody was just giving little gifts, and it was just totally unexpected, but so lovely. So I want to share just a few of those with you. I knew that I could not share everything. One, I want to keep, you know, some memories very close, but 2, like, these people are just so generous and so kind that there's just no way that I could share everything. So I will share just a few things. It doesn't mean that I like these things any more than anything else that we got. It just means that I just pulled a few things to show you. So Kathy's daughter, Ashley, started stitching, and she also started personalizing things, and Kathy made us all cups. And this says Kia Petite Retreat 23. And I just thought this was so sweet. And then when you fill it up, it completely changes colors. How fun is that? So I've used it since we've been home, like every single day, which was so sweet. A couple of people did like a little gift or surprise every day, which was blowing my mind. One of the things I wanted to show you is one of our surprises of Petite Retreat was that Vicki Clayton Silk. Actually, Vicki Clayton sells a dyeing kit of silk. She sends you all the dye. She sends you hanks of raw silk and lengthy step-by-step instructions. And our wonderful hostess surprised us one day, and we got to hand dye our own silk. So I want to show it to you. It's absolutely beautiful silk. And we have gone through, this is a hodgepodge of like what was left over. We have gone through and named most of them just little treasures throughout our week. So this one is Pop of Color, which is Alyssa, Holly's daughter. This one is Fix Your Face, because it was a saying we used all week long for like, make sure you're making a nice face. And so anyway, each of them just have, but like, let me just tell you that I didn't physically dye any of these. I was the clean hands person, where I was like, what do you need? I've got clean hands, because this dye literally gets everywhere. And Vicki Clayton will tell you in her instructions, like, this dye goes everywhere. So make sure you glove up like mask up if you need to, all the things. So let me just tell you that I have a very new and true appreciation for dyeing anything. This process was so fun, but fascinating. I totally understand, like, it makes me appreciate the maker so much more, and it makes me like understand where my dollar is going. And oh, we just had so much fun dyeing this. So one of them is named Holly's Heart. One of them is named Arbor Lane because of a sweet friend that lived on Arbor Lane. You know, one of them is named Raspberry Jam because we have two people who love to preserve and can things. One is Eiffel Tower. You know, it's just, anyway, it's just so fun. And these silks just turned out beautifully. I cannot wait to use them on a project. So I definitely wanted to share that with you. So one day when I got there, this was on my bed, and this is the sweetest little Seju gift bag. So inside is a little Seju pincushion. Look at that. Adorable with the Eiffel Tower on it. Then there is some Seju floss and some Seju needles in here. And the bag itself is just adorable. Look at that. So cute. And then there's also the sweetest little apron from Seju. Isn't that adorable? So that was just incredibly kind. And I love this so much. I put it in, this is an old piece of furniture that I have just to display some cute little cross stitch things or quilting things, whatever I want. And so this is going to live in there because, oh, I just love it so much. I think this might live in my stitching space because I really like it too. Okay, Tammy made us these. How adorable is this? And then gave us some pony needles. These are in size 26, but like, how did she even make this? This is so cute. I will show you this when I show you something different, okay? Kathy had these made for us. These are needle minders that say Petite Retreat 2023. And this is from Lisa and Rebecca of Stitch and Sisters, Crafts and Notions. So I'm gonna hold this up for a second so you can screenshot that, because the quality is just amazing, and it's the sweetest little needle minder. I love it so much. I'm gonna end up saying that about everything, so I apologize. I'm also gonna stop saying where these things are from, like who gave what, because they're just all way too special. Someone gave us this little bag, and inside is this Shakespeare's Peddler friendship tree. How just adorable is this? Holly started stitching. She got one of the little women done. Absolutely adorable. So I think what I want to do is take a couple of these little flowers out and maybe backstitch the girls' initials. She got us all the floss. The person that gave us this got us all the floss for it. And she had alluded to the fact that we would need to bring a neutral colored fabric. So, so I had brought some options, but did you know that even when you spend a week with friends, that you still don't get a ton of stitching done? So, and then she made us all these floss rings that have a picture of the pattern in it, which is super cute. And then there's also some like little other sussies in here. And I'm gonna run out of room. Someone gave us, actually two people gave us two of these. Charting my needlework, my needle art legacy, a guidebook, needlework journal, and inventory notebook for my heirloom stitching pieces after I pass away. And this is from Artist Designs. And it has some really thought-provoking questions in here, like a journal that you fill out. So what do you struggle with the most with your needlework? If you had to choose one type of textile to stitch on, such as linen, Aida, or quilting cotton, what would it be and why? Did you have any needlework teachers or instructors? If so, what were some of the key things they taught you? So half of this book is I mean, literally half of it is journaling questions. I love this idea so much. So journaling questions, and then the other half is a place for a picture of your needlework so that your family knows what it looks like, and then instructions on what to do with that needlework, and things like that. I mean, this is a treasure in itself. So this is a great gift idea. I need to remember that for when I do a gift guide in December. This needs to go on there. Okay, Teresa, listen, I just said I was going to stop saying who gave us things. Okay, someone I know out of the 6 of us made us these bags. And I had literally just said to the group, we text all the time, like all the time. My kids are like, Mom, it's that group again. And I had just said, has anybody tried the vertical version of project bags? And they were like, oh my gosh, we love them. And then someone made us these adorable bags, and they had some really sweet little things in it. While we were there, the girls had decided and invited me to do so. We have an Emily Call pattern, words to live by, and it says, pray always, love one another, and have faith. So we all brought fabric and floss to start these. So I did start it. This is on Color and Cotton. I don't remember the name of it. This is as much as I had gotten done because I lost this piece. I lost this for 3.5 days. Couldn't find it anywhere. And I am working that with Distressed Denim, which is a brand new color, I guess, from Gentle Art. You guys, it's stunning. Let me see if I can wind it like the pros do so you can really see the variegation in it. There you go. So this is Distressed Denim. I'll hold it so you can take a screenshot of it. It is such a beautiful blue. Such a beautiful blue. Like, I will buy lots of skeins of this so that I can have it. So I just put my project down in that so I could remember where they were, so I don't lose it again. Okay. Okay, someone also had these personalized for us. These are the little jewelry boxes that everybody is doing, which we'll talk about that next. So we all had some like crafts that we knew we wanted to try and do together, because you think, okay, you're going to spend 4 or 5 days together. You should have plenty of time to like do all these things you want to do and go to these places you would like to go. And that just does not happen, because you just end up just loving on these people and sharing food with them, breaking bread, sitting around the table and talking about each other's stories for so long, and you just run out of time. And so one of our crafts that we wanted to do was everybody was to bring a jewelry box if they wanted a jewelry box to personalize. But someone had these personalized for us. And let me set it up here for you. As a craft, we took them apart, and I will show you what we did with them. We took them apart, and Miss Holly had some very sentimental quilt blocks of a suite that we call a friend, and we personalized our own little travel stitching boxes. So took all the dividers out. I put mine back in a little wonky so that I had some extra space. We learned how to make these, they're floss rings, but they're called something. And so we learned how to make those. Didn't this just turn out adorable? So we had so much fun making these. This little strawberry was with that bag that someone made for us. Just so incredibly sweet. Holly had the idea to like include lace and that little trim there. I mean, just adorable. But we also did, tear apart our normal jewelry boxes, and I will show you what I did to mine. Mine's kind of full with rubbish at the moment, but I will show you so you can kind of get a a glance at what we did here. So this is my jewelry box. And then when you open it, I ripped everything out. I ripped the dividers out, added some lace trim, some fabric at the bottom. This is not stitched. I had a lot of people asking at Stitchcon. This is not stitched. This is Blackbird fabric that is just pre-stitched, and it's in there. Put on the lace. I keep so much junk, not junk. I keep a lot of stuff in here. So, and I used it all week at Stitchcon and just loved it. It was the perfect amount of space for this. Also, the thing at Stitchcon to give this year were these eyelash brushes. And never in my life have I used one until this week. And now I have several of them, and I'm gonna have one in each stitching box, because when you frog stitches, which we all hope we don't have to do, but we do, you just rub this over your fabric and it takes all the fuzzies out. It's amazing. So that was one of our craft days. So overall, it was such a sweet time together. Like I said, it's like our our text messages like came to life. It was amazing. Holly's daughter brought over some goodies. She runs an Instagram account. She is a social media influencer. She has a full-time job, but she really does influence on Instagram. Her Instagram is Pop of Color. And if you do not watch her, she does fashion, she does DIY, she does household things. And she brought us over some of her favorite things. And this is one of them. It is a kitchen tea towel from Geometry. I cannot wait to put this in my kitchen, but I wanted to show you. It's amazing. She talks all about them on her channel. It's quick dry. It's made out of recycled goods. It's amazing. So definitely look up her Instagram. It is Pop of Color, and her name is Alyssa, and she's wonderful. She really is wonderful. She is a good influence on Instagram, I should say. Okay, then that brings us to Stitchcon. We got there on Thursday about 8 in the morning, and I felt like we did not stop. So a couple of us stayed at Holly's house, a couple of us stayed in the hotel, and one of us went home. So that was that was sad to say goodbye early to her, but she had to get home to a new puppy and her garden and her babies, and so all the things. And so Stitchcon, a couple of us stayed at Holly, so we would stay at the convention center all day long and then go home and basically just love you, good night, toodaloo, good night. We'd eat a piece of bread and then go to bed, which was wonderful. So I came home, as this community is just so incredibly generous. I came home with a ton of little like sussies, little floss tags and scissor fobs and things like that. And I really struggled to know what to do with those. Last year, it seemed to be the thing to give was floss tags. And this year, like, people were giving scissor fobs. I mean, just such amazing like things that they have made, or that they supported somebody in the community who makes those things and they were passing those out. I mean, just amazing things. And I really didn't know what to do with those. I struggled with it last year, so they all went into a bag. And then when I got home this year, I was like, I want to see these things. Even if I don't use them, I want to see them. So if you've been around a long time, you know that I used to hang my floss on this. But I have this little display thing. So now all of my floss tags from Sweet Stitchers are all on here. So, and some people, by the way, some people use square punches, and I'm loving this idea. These are from Carmen Delaney of Fargo, North Dakota. So it's just so fun. I put some scissor fobs on the top. These are those things that we learned to make. Missy taught us how to make these. And so I just put a bunch of them. So anyway, so they're just here all the time on my desk. I can look at them and just enjoy them instead of them just being in a bag in a drawer somewhere. So I was really glad to have those. If you brought something to trade or show or give at Stitchcon, I mean, you definitely do not have to do that. The time together and the conversations that we have in that room are more than enough in this community, but people are just so generous and they want to do these things. And so just the amount of kindness is really, really encouraging. I think that we need a lot of that in our world. And the fact that we see a glimpse of that in a room of 300 stitchers who all enjoy the same things is so kind. With that being said, I passed out stickers that I bought on Amazon, and I told a few girls that when I filmed, I would link them in the description box. So I found the little, like McCall's Pattern Girl. I found a lot of stickers, and so I was passing those out, and it was a great way. It was an inexpensive, great way for me to be able to visit every single table. And I loved doing that. I think I bought a pack of 250 stickers, and I just went around on Saturday afternoon to every single table and passed out stickers. And it was a great way to like open up a conversation with people that I don't know that I would have had time to do so. And so that's a really fun, inexpensive way to do that. Okay, so yes, we learned how to make those. Holly was just the sweetest. You guys, she is the sweetest. And I know she's friends with so many people on Instagram. She found these thread waxers. And so I hung it on my scissors and you just run your floss over it. It's a waxer. And then we got 2 refills. Because you know, you get these things and you're like, oh, I don't ever want to use it. Because like, what if I run out? Well, we got 2 refills, which was very sweet. My friend Caitlin, who is my Sunday morning friend at Stitchcon, gifted me this little scissor fob, which was so sweet. It says Stitcher on it. I call her my Sunday morning friend because last year at Stitchcon, I was sitting at a table by myself. Tech Guy and our Peanut were upstairs asleep in the hotel. And Caitlin came over and sat by me and we talked for an hour or so last year. And then this year, when I was visiting tables, I said, why don't you come over tomorrow morning and let's stitch together? We can be Sunday friends. So she got to come over to my table and meet Holly, and they created a fast little friendship, and it was so fun. Holly gave us these. These are Ginger scissors, and they are the curved tip. These are so heavy duty and they sound amazing. I got this adorable scissor fob at the Rovaris trunk show. And then I also got this one because I just thought they were way too cute for words. Somebody made Stitchcon 2023 chains, some other scissor fobs. They were stunning. What else? Here's another scissor fob. Just incredible. Like, how do you say thank you to these people who are just so talented and so generous? I just don't have words sometimes. All right, would you guys like to see some stitching? Because I've barely showed you any. I will show you some whips that I've been working on. This I worked on a little bit before I left. This is Stars and Stripes Forever from Annie B's. I think this is so cute. And it is on 40 count prairie dust from Color and Cotton. And I worked a little bit more on the house. Like I said, this was before I left, so it was just mindless stitching in between packing. So I had fun working on that. Oh, it's getting hot up here. Then I got, okay. One of our gifts is our endearing host commissioned Susan from Sweet Wing Studio to do a pattern that is exclusive to our little friend group until a later time. And she commissioned her to do them, and she did too, because Susan is the sweetest. So this is the first one that she did for us, and these will be released soon. Susan teased them on her Instagram. It says, friendship above all ties does bind the heart, and faith and friendship is the noblest part. So isn't that adorable? I know there's a glare. Isn't that so cute? Sue Sweet sat at our table for Stitchcon. So we employed her to sign our charts. And then this is the chart, the golden thread Friendship is the golden thread that ties the heart of all the world. So I actually just have the border left to do on this. This is on an 18 count Aida. We wanted it to kind of all be the same. So we did an 18 count Aida. And then it is called for DMC, but I think I left it downstairs. Did I leave it downstairs? Nope, I did not. We visited Craft Gallery on Wednesday, which I'll talk about here in a second. And I bought some Petite treasure braid for everybody to do golden thread in if they wanted. So that is why mine looks like that. So I got golden thread. So I just have the border to go through. I did make a couple of changes. I stole Teresa Garden Goose Stitcher, put Petite Retreat and backstitch down here instead of the person who quoted that. Because it's in my hand. Oh my goodness. John Evelyn is who that quote is from. And we put Petite Retreat. And then something I did, there are 6 hearts up here, 1 for each of us. And so I did everybody's initials down the side there. So it has been a long time since I've stitched on Aida. So I just whipped through. I loved doing that. It is on a little floss ring that was made for us to go with that strawberry bag, and just called for called for DMC, which was lovely. Susan got us a sweet gift. She sat at our table for Stitchcon and she did an exclusive for Stitchcon. And so this is it, Friendship Grows. And I just thought that was so sweet. So I put them all together in this project bag so I could see them. Okay, let me put this away. And put this to the side. Okay. With that being said, one of our gifts, Chantel from 141 made us, these are phone stands. So they actually come in 2 pieces. And this is the quote from the pattern. And she sent these for us, and this was just so incredibly sweet. So I put mine, actually all of us put them on our stitching table at Stitchcon, and your phone just rests in them, and it has a little cutout so you can have your phone charging at the same time. So that goes along with our little chart. So incredibly kind. So kind. Okay, let me keep showing stitching and then I'll go back to the other stuff. Since I did visit Liz early in the week, I wanted to take a couple of projects that I am working on with her. This is one of them, a sweet friendship. So I started this with Liz and Steph from Just Keep Stitching, and we were all taking a girl, I've talked about this a lot before, we were all taking a girl and customizing her skirt to look more like us. So I worked on mine a little bit because it's great mindless stitching because it's just stripes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So I worked on it a little bit in the room, like a tiny little bit in the room with Liz. And then I worked on a little bit at Stitchcon itself. Because again, mindless stitching. So there is my skirt that I customized. I get a lot of questions on this. This yellow is Silken Colors Straw into Gold. And it is wonderfully variegated. It's beautiful. And her striped socks will be her shirt as well. So that was fun to work on. I brought this because this was a gift from Liz from Market. So this is Kindred Spirits from Teresa Kogut. This was a Market release this year. And Liz bought it and gifted it to me. And so, oh, that's so funny. The 3 of us had also already started this Kindred Spirits because they're all in the bag together from Kathy, and I'm just realizing that they're called the same thing. That is funny. That is funny. That was a gift. That was a birthday gift from Liz and Steph a couple of years ago. So that's cute. Now I can't find the fabric for this. Here it is. Okay, so I decided I don't love the words kindred spirit. And I was going to do kindness, and I was going to do, I don't know. I had gotten almost the entire word kindred done, and I was like, I think I'm going to rip it out and do something different. And you guys, this chart is so much bigger than it looks. It is 168 by 179. This looks like a small and it is not. I'm doing it on 46 count Be Stitch Me. And so I was talking to my table mates about it, and then Missy came around and I was telling her the same thing, and she said, well, why don't you just do Kindred Hearts? So I recharted it. Sorry, it's all wrinkled, but Kindred Hearts is what that will be. I just need the S still. So that's huge. This is 46 count. Look how big it is. So I was very excited to get that started. Absolutely adorable. And isn't it funny that those two charts are the name to the same thing? Okay, so let me get these put away. And I just put all of my, I've decided I don't have enough project bags to put one project per project bag, which is probably more embarrassing than anything else. So like all my Liz projects are in here. I have like a Steph project bag. I have like, now I have a Petite Retreat project bag because they all like, you know, some of them have a theme. So, okay. And then some of the other things. Alex, little tiny house stitches. She was at Stitchcon as well. And last year, she sat behind me and I saw her, wow, words are hard. Over the course of the last year, she had posted that some church ladies had given her a bunch of cross stitch to get rid of. And so, and then she had some stash that she wanted to get rid of too. So I actually bought a few original Prairie Schoolers off of her. Some of the patterns I already had, and Tech Guy was like, you already have this pattern. Why'd you buy it again? Well, because it's in cardstock and the one I had was a reprint. So you buy it. So, so I bought some Prairie Schooler things from her. And then she said, I'm bringing a huge thing to Stitchcon to get rid of. So you can have first dibs going through it. One of the things she wanted to get rid of was this Polar Express bag. And my kids love Polar Express. I also got these tags off of Amazon that are just clear keychains, and I write on them with permanent marker, and then alcohol wipes just take the permanent marker off. So these are all my peanut projects. So I say that because, as some of you know, I am doing the Twin Peaks Be Beautiful sampler, and I'm doing a sal with that called Don't Be Afraid Sal. You can go back on my last Flosstube, or I have a video completely dedicated to that. And you all, the amount of people that came up to me at Stitchcon and said that they were doing that, and the amount of people that didn't even say that they were doing that came up and asked how he's doing, was incredibly kind and very touching. For me, lots of people were coming up saying, how are you doing, Mom? You've been gone for a while, Mom. Are you doing okay? And I just thought that was really sweet, very kind to like think of me. And so I am working on that Be Beautiful sampler as a sal. And so here is where I'm at so far. I started this June 1st, so I've not gotten super, super far, but I love it so much. And it was fun to see everyone who was working on it. It was just really kind. It was really kind. There aren't a ton of people working on it, and that's okay. But the people who are, I was moved by their stories of why they're working on it. So, and their reasoning behind that. So here is my color palette. I just kept it from when I did the model stitching. The twins let me keep it. And then a sweet friend made this for me, and it literally says, do not be afraid. Don't be afraid, just believe. And so I put that on there immediately because I knew that's the project it needed to go on. The other project that I am getting ready to start is the sal that Pam from Just Keep Stitching is doing. Just Keep Stitching. She is doing a sal that started June 11th, I believe. I wasn't going to do this sal because I am very fortunate to have not been touched by cancer in someone in my family. And so I thought, like, what a sweet sentiment of sal that they're doing. I think I'm going to stick with my Twin Peaks for our little guy, and I'm not going to start another one. But to hear the stories that came out of Stitchcon, because they had the model there and they had fabric and floss and everything ready to go for Pam's sal at Stitchcon. They had like a whole little table set up, which was so kind of them, of Keepsakes, to do for a sal like that. And I saw it and I was like, that's beautiful. But again, I'm just going to stick to my sal that I'm doing for Twin Peaks because it is the same meeting for me personally. And the model lives at Keepsakes for my sal. And so I was like, I think I'm just going to stick with that. And then to hear the stories of people who are starting this, dear friends of mine who are starting this, and the meaning behind it, anyway, it's a beautiful, beautiful Quaker sampler, and it's stunning. And so I decided I am going to start it. My son's ribbon is dark blue and light blue. And so I have pulled, these are 2 hanks from Threadworks, and the color is 1024. It's just a very dark, dark blue. It's not black as it's showing on camera. And then Weeks Dye Works Blue Jeans is my lighter color. And I'm gonna put that on London Fog, which was a gift from Stephanie a couple of years ago because I love this fabric so much. So I think that I'm gonna start it on this. So I bought the things to go with that, and I already had the London Fog at home. So this project bag has become my peanut bag because I just think that sal is so endearing and really more celebrates medical advances and where people are now. I feel like I don't want to say words about it because I'm going to get my words wrong. It's just a very endearing sal. And whether we've lost someone to cancer or like we all have our own battles, right? Okay, we all have our own battles and everyone has their own things. And that, I think, my interpretation is really the meaning behind that. So I appreciate those who are doing the sal, who have arranged the sal, who've created the sal and the chart itself. It's just an extremely sweet sentiment, and I'm stumbling over my words, so I'm going to stop talking about it before I say something I don't want to say, because I don't want it to come out wrong. So all of that to say, it lives in the Polar Express bag because those are 2 projects I'm doing in honor of my son. Okay. Let's talk about some purchasing that I did. I didn't do a ton of purchasing while I was gone, but we did a ton of shopping, if that makes any sense. So I'll start with things I bought at Stitchcon because they're right on top. So I thought this was adorable. It was also at the Rivares table, and you open it up and there is a clip for scissors, and then your needles can go on both sides. And this, I just realized as I was getting ready for filming, this actually is meant for your scissors to slide into so they don't poke you, and then they hook onto that, and I did not realize that. So I just thought this was so cute, and that tag says handmade, and then it just snaps together. So that was adorable. Lucy Beam had this star coverlet, and so I thought this was really pretty. They had a trunk show of Lucy Beam, and this was just stunning. And that is a big chunky frame, and I loved it as well. Manny Dodonna had 2 charts that I saw in person. And you know how sometimes pictures just don't do the models justice, and both of these I thought were stunning. So this is the Good Life. Those are 2 quilts hanging there. And then this one is called Old Main Street. And I just love it so much. So those are both charts that I purchased. Then Jeanette Douglas had a trunk show there as well. And this is Anne Perrin, 1841, Reproduction and Adaptations for Jeanette Douglas. This was very, very pretty in person. Just stunning. So there you can see the original, and then she's got some adaptations down here at the bottom. And the color palette is definitely not something I would gravitate towards, but I think I'm gonna do called for, at least the called for, let me see. I say that, watch it be like called for soirée, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I just don't trust myself with that level of, that level of floss yet. Let me see here. Maybe. Is there an introduction sheet? Here it is. Okay. Let's see. Called for fabric is 40 count Lakeside Linens Vintage Meadow Rue. Remember, any count and any color fabric that pleases you is wonderful with a reproduction. The choices are many. That's very sweet that she puts that there. The design count is 186 by 245. And you guys, what is the floss I just said? Okay, but she has a DMC conversion, so I'll do the DMC conversion. But it's beautiful. It's definitely not a color palette that I would gravitate towards, but seeing it in person, it was beautiful. So I think I might try it because I'll show this to you without the bag. Do you guys see this like neon-ish? It's not neon, but it's definitely bright. And it's because in the original, it's bright like that as well. So it's definitely not something I would pull, but I really liked the model. So I need to remember that when I put this away. It's beautiful. So my birthday is in 2 weeks and I would like to kit up some things for my birthday. We'll see what we have planned, but I would like to kit up a few things for my birthday and that would be one of them. Okay, Matter in Hand from Jeanette Douglas. This was beautiful. She had this as a model and every copy was sold. So stinking pretty. This would be another one I would want to kit up. It's just gorgeous. So maybe who thinks I can talk tech guy into kitting some things up for me for my birthday? We'll see. So that was my purchasing from Stitchcon, the annex there. On Wednesday, before Stitchcon, between the two, we made the trip to Findlay, Ohio, and went to Craft Gallery. Now, for all 6 of us, this was all our very first time going to Craft Gallery. Paula met us at the door and was so incredibly kind. She was very excited to see us. She gave us an entire shop tour, introduced us to her sweet husband and her team, and they were all so kind. And we did some damage there. So I'll show you some charts that I bought. I loved this. I mean, we shopped for hours there. We stayed a lot longer than I thought we would. I think we didn't get to lunch until about 1:30. So, and we got there right when they opened at 10. And so this is with 1 accord. So I know that I won't stitch anything below here, but I thought this was just very pretty. So this is Heartstring Samplery with 1 accord. This is Prairie Life Sampler, and I know that I won't stitch this band here, and I'll take those out and adjust the border, but I just thought this was beautiful with that log cabin. And it says, the real things haven't changed. It is still best to be honest and truthful, to be happy with simple pleasures, and have courage when things go wrong. And I cannot tell you, the moment I read that sentiment right now, just this time in my life, the moment I read that sentiment, I got goosebumps. So I just thought it was beautiful. So I got that. Another one I would love to kit up for my birthday. And then Teresa Kogut did an exclusive for Craft Gallery called In His Image. And it is stunning. They have 2 models there done by 2 separate stitchers, and they're beautiful. Beautiful. And Teresa has promised Holly that she will chart a little kid in a wheelchair to be like more inclusive. So I'm very, very excited about that. Very excited about that. You know, I've talked a lot about our son here in the last few weeks, and you know, he's doing great every single day, and I fully realize that there are children struggling so much more than he is. And we have, you know, needed some things here and there, but something happened over the week that I just was so incredibly grateful for. So his mobility is pretty affected long distance. So riding in the car more than 30 to 45 minutes gets pretty painful for him. Like we can't do things like go to the zoo. It's too much walking. You know, those things. We can't go to the pool for more than an hour or 2. It's too draining for him. And so we have silently struggled with that for a very long time until in February, we met a wonderful new doctor to us. And he was like, well, this is part of Pearson's diagnosis. Like this is part of your son's thing. We can help you with this. And he was like, you know, we have wheelchair options or we have adaptive stroller options. And I was like, oh, he doesn't need a wheelchair, but a stroller would be really helpful because we've always just bought strollers. You know, he's 8 and we're growing out of strollers that you can just go to Buy Buy Baby or Target and buy. And so we met with a mobility specialist and applied for an adaptive stroller, which is basically the difference between it and a wheelchair is they can't wheel themselves around. So energy isn't spent on him rolling himself around or the temptation of doing so. Someone does have to push him. And it's like a lazy boy. He can lay down and take a nap when he needs to and rest. And our family can be out doing things like we would want to do. And so it is months and months and months. If you know anything about medical equipment, it takes a very, very long time for you to get approved for anything like that. And we applied for that in March. And this week, while I was gone, we got our acceptance for that with no insurance pushback at all. And so here in just about 6 to 8 weeks, we will have said stroller. So if you've met my little peanut, if you've been to Stitchcon when he's been there, he is just the sweetest and he's been in a stroller for a while. And so this is just such a blessing. It's going to be so great for him. And it's going to be such a help to him. And I'm so excited about it. So I don't know how we got on that little tangent, but it was something exciting that happened that I wanted to share with you all. Okay, the last thing I bought at Craft Gallery was I was looking for fabrics, and they don't typically carry 46 or higher, but I just thought I would ask. I was like, do you happen to have any 46? And the girls there were so sweet, and they were like, you can check behind the counter. So I went behind the counter, which feels very odd. And I'm like going through this, this legacy linen. That is what the 5363 count is called, legacy linen. So I'm going through the fabrics and I find a piece of 5260 Lakeside linen in Cedar River, Cedar something. And it's like this piece of fabric is beautiful. It's all wrinkled right now. But I had taken a folder of new starts in case I didn't buy anything. And I wanted to start some new things there. And in that folder of new starts was a Kathy Barrick that she gifted me that is AH to EE. And I don't have the chart in front of me right now because I gifted it to Holly. So I'm gonna get a new chart. But it's a monochromatic Quaker and I knew I wanted to start it soon. And I saw this piece of Lakeside and I was like, oh, this would be beautiful for something. And then Holly was looking at it and she was like, okay, I'm up for a challenge. So she bought a quarter and I bought a quarter, which is everything that they had. And she said, let's find a chart for it. So I said, how about AH to EE? And we can do HN to KB. She was like, I love that. I love that. Let's get it started. So we went over and found a Dinky Dyes that we both liked. So here is my tiny little start on 56 count. I promise next time I'm gonna iron. Next time I'm gonna iron these things so you can see them better. So I started at Stitchcon. I love it very much. We did a little Dinky Dyes floss. Let me see if I have it in this bag. We did a Dinky Dyes floss. She is doing a 103, I believe. Yeah, this is Dinky Dyes and Seagrass. And I love the tone on tone. I just love it so much. So I've been working on that and I cannot wait to get back to it. As soon as I get some other things started, that is gonna be on my list. So, okay, let's take a break from purchases for a moment and tell you some things that I was gifted at Stitchcon. This sweet woman, who I am so remiss to not remember her name, made one of these for every single person. This is a laced cross. And it's like you could use it as a bookmark. You can use it as a Christmas tree ornament. It's beautiful. Made one for every single attendee of Stitchcon. She went around with this giant box and let everybody choose one. It was so adorable. Jen Lee, the other Jen Lee, the 5th daughter, came around and gifted me this little box. It is an egg carton. And then when you open it, it has some little treats inside. So she gave us a spool of anchor, some of those adorable tiny scissors that everybody likes, some buttons, a measuring tape is under there, some candy, and some washi tape. And I just thought, what a nifty idea as a gift. So incredibly sweet. They of course have a freebie table at Stitchcon, and I walked by and I found this and thought, gosh, that's pretty. I don't know that I will ever do anything with it. I just thought it was gorgeous. Like, look at that detail. And then I found this, and Brenda and Kim Store, I went over there and we were talking, and I said, tell me all about plastic canvas. And they said, oh, you could definitely do it. So if you have been following me for a long time, you know that I love Christmas villages. Like, that is my jam. My dad and I have a collection of over 100 pieces, like 100 houses and buildings. And so it lives at his house now because I don't have the room for it at my house anymore. And so I thought, how cute would it be to have some plastic canvas houses? But in talking about this, Hirschner's has kits. So I might ask for that for my birthday. They have like whole kits of things, or I might ask for it for Christmas. Anyway, or I might just give it to myself, of Christmas Village, and they send you everything you need to make a little Christmas village. So cute. Love the freebie table. Okay, before I left, I made a couple of purchases I'll show you. This is from Hillside Rookery. And you guys, I just loved these so much. I spent way too much money on them, but they're totally worth it, and I love them. I'm just so glad to have them in my collection. I keep saying like, oh, I want to get this for my birthday. I want to get these for my birthday. This is Meeting House by Exemplar Dames Design. I just keep staring at it. Look how good it looks. And then this one is Forgiveness. Are you joking? So I want to start both of those very soon. I am starting to make my plans for 12 by 12 and what that's going to look like for me. And like my personal plans, like what I'm going to stitch, and I'm having a hard time. I got my Color and Cotton Fabric of the Month a few days ago. This is Coral Canyon. So it does pull a little bit coral, and of course up to my pink shirt, it looks really coral, doesn't it? But it's beautiful, 40 count. And then I got my Sterling ink order, which I've talked about on this channel a bit, is my planner that I use, and I subscribe to their monthly planner kit. Words are hard because I've been filming a long time. And so it is so adorable. Look at that. It comes with a bunch of stickers and things to make for each month of your planner. So I get it once a month, and I got it now. I always put in my description box, I have a code with Sterling Ink, and you are welcome to use it. It doesn't give me any kickback, but it does give you a discount, which is fantastic. And that's what's important to me. So look for that in the description box. You guys, I think that's a lot. I'm probably over an hour now because I've had to start and stop so many times, but that's okay. I'm just really glad to be able to spend the time with you. And, you know, I'm adjusting to what it's like doing Flosstube by myself rather than always with Tech Guy. So I feel like I'm starting to maybe get out of the awkward stage of where I'm just talking to myself. So anyway, my time away, I was gone 9 days, and it was a very, very sweet time. And the sweetest of things happened when my 3 boys and my husband walked into the Stitchcon room to pick me up, and they came over all the way over to my table in the corner. And someone said, "Did you miss your mom?" And my 12-year-old says to her, the whole table listening, "My mom does more in one day than we did in an entire week." And he has the sweetest heart. And I just am so grateful to have him in my life. And just watching him grow is my favorite thing. So it was just so incredibly sweet. I missed them so much, but it was so good to have a respite and a time away. So Thank you guys so much for joining me in the hive today. Thank you for listening to all of my rambling, but it was just so fun to get this all out, and now I can finally put everything away. So thank you so much for joining us in the hive, and you have a great day.